Welcome to the Poor Man's Retro Game Room, and today I thought I'd do something a little different. I thought I would share with you 5 NES games that I have discovered later in life, but missed out on back in the day. And a buddy of mine came up with the term, and he calls it fresh nostalgia. So Jason over at the Kinda Cool YouTube channel, I'm still in your term, man. Fresh nostalgia for the NES. Yeah, that's cool, man. And it's one of the really cool things about collecting retro games is finding one of those cool games that maybe you missed out on back in the day and just discovering it for the first time and really enjoying it. And so today I thought I would share 5 NES games that I discovered later in life and that, hey, I don't know, I've developed some fresh nostalgia for. So, without further ado, let's kick this thing off, and let's kick it off the right way. Let's kick it off with Abadox for the NES. Abadox for the NES is an awesome game, man. I'm really digging it. It is hard, it's very challenging. However, if you can hold on to your power-ups, it makes the game, of course, a lot easier, obviously. But I really do enjoy this game. I love the enemies that it throws at you. I like the challenge. I like the power-ups. It's a really cool, unique shooter, and there also is some verticality to this game as well. If you get past that first boss, the next level is actually vertically, and you're going down, not up, which is different. And it's cool, man. If you can hold on to your power-ups and you hit that level, you actually should be able to get through it without much of a problem. And it is really, I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. It kind of reminds me of a shooter like, Contra, but it's a shoot 'em up. It's a shmup, if you will. And it's a really cool game. I got this through a trade from my buddy over at Playmore Games, and got it with the box and the cart, and have really enjoyed it. So that would be the first game, Abadox. And then the second one we're going to look at is Shatterhand. Oh yeah. Have you played Shatterhand? You may have heard about it. You may have heard about it on some of the quote-unquote hidden gem videos. But I'm here to tell you this is an excellent game. And I really, if I would have had this back in the day, when I had my NES, man, I would have played the heck out of this. And I've been playing the heck out of it. It's a lot of fun, man. And I'll tell you what, this dude has some awesome fists, right? He can punch through anything, man. And one of the cool things, of course, is collecting the icons, and it brings up, kind of like a drone that follows you around and helps you fight. Some really unique boss fights and really cool stage design, and you can also hang off the chain link fence. If you see a chain link fence, you can hang off of it. There's power-ups, of course. There's stages where you collect coins as you defeat some enemies, and then you can use those coins at a power-up station to refill your life. Excellent game. Shatterhand for the NES. Man, I cannot recommend that game enough. Alright, so the next game we're going to cover is pretty cool. Solar Jetman. Another kind of shmup, I don't know, man. It's a different type of game. It is really cool. You got to kind of take your spaceship into areas, collect pieces, bring them back to the base. It is cool. The gravity effect in this game is really different. It's challenging, but it is a lot of fun. And one of the coolest things about this game is it's just really unique. There's not a whole lot of games like it, and I can't think of any other game on the NES like it. But it's an awesome game. I highly recommend Solar Jetman, and I'll tell you another kind of a perk to most of these games. Most of them are cheap. Shatterhand can get a little expensive, but most of them that I'm going to share with you today are fairly cheap, on the cheaper end. So very cool. The other one that I'm going to talk about, and I discovered this on the multi-cart that I have. Everybody's played Batman on the NES, but have you played Batman Returns on the NES? You've probably played it on the 16-bit platforms, and you know that both of those, on the Super NES and the Sega Genesis, man, they were really different games. But this one is a beat 'em up, kind of like in the vein of the Super NES Batman Returns. And it's a lot of fun, man. It's a really, really good beat 'em up. It's challenging. They send, there's times when there's a bunch of enemies that kind of flood the screen. You have a special move. You hit A and B together. You'll do like a cape whip, and it'll get rid of enemies. You also have a sliding move. You hit down and jump, and you'll slide into enemies, hitting them and at least stunning them for just a second anyway. So that would be my next recommendation, Batman Returns for the NES. Oh yeah, that's a good game. If you haven't played it, man, do yourself a favor, play this one. Alright, so lastly, on the games, the NES games that I discovered later in life is a really cool game. I can't believe I missed out on this one. And I missed out on it for quite a while. I saw it, I've seen it kicking around, and it's a cheap game, but it's Air Fortress for the NES. Man, this game is cool. So you're going to have parts of the game, especially at the beginning of each level, where it's a shmup. You're got a jetpack on basically, and you're flying through space, and you got to avoid obstacles, shoot enemies, collect power-ups, bombs, energy, all that good stuff. And that stuff will help you, especially the bombs, will help you once you get past that shmup part of the stage and actually enter the fortress. Now once you're in the fortress, of course the first one's pretty simple, but there's some, you've got to kind of, find your way through the fortress, avoiding obstacles, taking out enemies as you go. And you're going to find some reactors, and that's what I call them anyway. My advice, use a bomb on those. And you're going to find the last core of the Air Fortress. You're going to blow it up. And then once you do, you got a limited amount of time to escape. And later levels, you've got to find your ship after you blow up that core. And you're on a time limit. It gets intense, man. This game is a blast. And it does a lot of things very, very well. Mixing genres, but doing it well. This is a high quality game, and I've actually loved this game, man. It's really became one of my go-to, kind of almost a comfort game, So anyway, that's my last recommendation. I highly recommend Air Fortress for the NES, and you won't be disappointed. It is a blast. Alright, well thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Don't hesitate. If you want to share this video out, that won't hurt my feelings. If you want to hit that like button, that's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm okay with it. And if you wanted to, maybe climb to the top of the turnbuckle, point to the heavens, say, "Oh, yeah." Jump off, give that subscribe button a good old flying elbow, man. Yeah. Heck yeah. Alright, well that's enough. My wife's calling me for supper anyway. Homemade pizza. Can't beat that. Alright, well thanks for joining me today, and until next time, have a great rest of your day.